Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about something very important for all of us who want to improve our communication skills. Have you ever noticed how some people speak in a way that sounds robotic? Yeah, like they're reading from a script or something. Maybe they're using words that are too big or sentences that are too complicated. Whatever it is, it can be really annoying to listen to. So, what does it mean to speak like a robot? Well, when we speak like robots, we sound stiff, formal, and kind of boring. We might use big words or complicated sentences that make us sound like we're trying too hard. And honestly, it can be really off-putting. When we're talking to someone, we want to feel like we're having a conversation, not listening to a lecture. But why do we do this? Why do we speak like robots? Sometimes it's because we're trying to sound smart or impressive. We think that if we use big words or complicated sentences, people will think we're intelligent or knowledgeable. But the truth is, it's actually the opposite. When we speak like robots, we can come across as insincere or unapproachable. When we speak like robots, we can also struggle to connect with others. People might feel like they can't relate to us, or that we're not being genuine. And that's a big problem, because when we're trying to communicate with others, we want to build connections and relationships, not push people away. Think about it. Have you ever been in a meeting or a class, and someone starts talking in a way that sounds really formal or scripted? Maybe they're using words that you don't understand, or sentences that are really long and complicated. How do you feel? Do you feel engaged and interested, or do you feel bored and disconnected? So, how can we stop speaking like robots? Here are a few tips. First, just be yourself. Don't try to be someone you're not, or use words that you don't normally use. People can tell when you're being insincere, and it's just not worth it. Think about it. When you're talking to a friend or family member, you don't use big words or complicated sentences, do you? You just talk naturally and authentically. Second, use simple language. Don't try to use big words or complicated sentences just to sound smart. Simple language is often more effective and easier to understand. Think about some of the greatest communicators in history. People like Martin Luther King Jr. or Nelson Mandela. They didn't use complicated language or big words. They spoke simply and authentically. Third, tell stories. People love stories, and they're a great way to connect with others and make your message more relatable. Think about it. When you're talking to someone, don't you love it when they share a personal anecdote or story? It makes the conversation feel more real and authentic. Finally, practice, practice, practice. The more you practice speaking naturally and authentically, the more comfortable you'll become. Try recording yourself speaking, or practicing with a friend, or family member. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, but what if I'm not good enough? What if I sound stupid or awkward? Let me tell you, those are totally normal fears. We all feel self-conscious or afraid when we're trying something new. But the truth is, the only way to get better is to practice. So, how can we build our confidence and overcome our fears? Here are a few tips. First, focus on your message. Instead of worrying about how you're coming across, focus on what you're trying to say. Remember, you're speaking to share your ideas or connect with others, not to impress anyone with your language skills. Second, practice in low-stakes situations. Try speaking up in a meeting or class, or practicing with a friend or family member. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become. Finally, celebrate your successes. Don't be too hard on yourself if you make mistakes or struggle at first. Instead, focus on what you're doing well and celebrate your successes. So, there you have it. Stop speaking like a robot and start being yourself. Remember, communication is all about building connections and relationships with others. Don't be afraid to be yourself and speak from the heart. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any tips for how to stop speaking like a robot, leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on communication and personal growth. Now, I want to challenge you to take action. Next time you're in a conversation, try to speak more naturally and authentically. Don't worry too much about using perfect grammar or complicated vocabulary. Just focus on being yourself and connecting with the other person. And here's a bonus tip. Try to listen more than you speak. When we're in conversations, it's easy to get caught up in our own thoughts and ideas. But listening is just as important as speaking. By listening more, you'll be able to respond more thoughtfully and build stronger connections with others. Remember, becoming a better communicator takes time and practice. Don't get discouraged if you struggle at first. Just keep working at it, and you'll see improvement over time. And most importantly, don't be afraid to be yourself. You are unique and valuable, and your voice matters.